Hi, I'm Commandant Des Kavanagh, and when I was 17 I trained on this gun, so I'm going to give a lesson on it today. It's the Vickers .303 inch medium machine gun. This gun follows on from one of the earliest machine guns, the Maxim, and in fact it's the Maxim mechanism except turned upside down, because the British engineers felt that this would work better. It's belt fed, water cooled. It's recoil operated with a return spring. The rate of fire was approximately 500 rounds per minute. Its range was around 2,000, 3,000 yards. But it could operate at anything, of course, inside that as well. A standard burst was 25 rounds, and this thing would fire all day, provided you had the belts to feed it. Belts came in 250 round boxes, and you had generally a crew of 4. More practically, that worked out at 3. The number 1 sat behind the gun, aiming and firing. Number 2 was here, making sure that the ammunition supply was uninterrupted. Number 3 was back there, at a safe distance. His responsibility was to bring forward belts as the belt box is emptied, and to bring forward the water container as well, because being water cooled, rather than have steam coming out giving away your position, there was a condenser tube fastened on underneath the barrel, which went down into a 2-gallon water can and condensed there back into water, so you didn't lose very much. And you could refill the gun from here. Okay, how did it operate really? We'll start with the first shot being fired when you press the thumb piece. And by the way, this is the hold. You hold it like that, with the fingers on top. These fingers lift off the safety catch, and these thumbs then press the thumb piece. These are called the traversing handles. The weapon was deflected by striking with the flat of the hand, and a good machine gunner should have absolutely the same deflection on every strike. These are oil bottles, so when you take the top off, you've got these guys for oil in the gun. I'm sure you all knew that. It's a tangent rear sight, sighted up to, let me refresh the memory, 2,800, quite a distance. In training, generally we fired at anything from 25 yards for introductory stuff to 600, usually in Gormanston, where they had a 600-yard range. It could also fire with a dial sight, which meant it could fire indirect. You could actually fire over the crest of a hill. And there's records of some of the battles in the First World War where all the vegetation had been mown down by machine gun fire. So, a mean area weapon, really good area weapon. How the thing operated? Bang, first shot fired. The gases, all you guys are familiar with that, come up the barrel under high pressure. Bullet leaves through the muzzle cone. The gases coming from behind reach a cavity in here, which is between the muzzle cup, which is screwed on the end of the barrel, and the muzzle cone, which is fixed to the front of the gun. That helps the recoil. You get the recoil anyway because of the kick when it's fired, but because of the expansion of gases, you get a fairly strong blow back of the barrel. Barrel will move back, and as it moves back, and I can't demonstrate it because, well, maybe I can, but you'll notice that this is the crank handle here, this is the operating handle of the gun, that there's a roller here, and as the gun recoils, this bears against the roller and is forced down. This is a toggle lock that holds the breech closed. So as it moves to the rear and this handle is forced up, toggle lock is broken. So the recoiling portions will continue to the rear. And as that happens, the extractors on the face of the lock will drop. Also in the recoil, the 2 pawls here on the feed block will move out, engaging the next round in the belt. As the action is brought forward again by the fusee spring, which lives here in the fusee box on the left. As it moves forward, the extractors have dropped. The empty case will drop out underneath the gun. The breech locks, the extractors are forced back up again by the extractor levers. And as they rise, they'll engage the next round in the belt. But the round that they had pulled out of the belt on the way back is now in line with the barrel. So there's 2 rounds on the face of the bolt. One in the barrel, one in the belt. And that will go on indefinitely until the belt is empty. You could fire all day. Usually you had to have spare barrels because in action, like in the First World War, these things were fired so much that they burned out barrels. So a venerable machine, last in service with the South African Army, and I don't think anybody has them anymore. But it was about the best thing you could have in defence. They weren't very mobile. The gun weighs 40 pounds, the tripod weighs 50 pounds. Add in all the ammunition, thousands of rounds of ammunition, add in the water. So you ended up, you have to be fit if you were a machine gunner. Got me with today's. So that's it for an introductory. The next thing to do would be to fall in a class, number them off, and make them take post. I won't do that. But it's a great gun. I'm glad there's one here. It takes me back a long time. It takes me back nearly 50 years. Anyway, thank you, gentlemen. That's your first introductory lesson. So up at your sight, you get the range as always, and you set the range there, the top of those 2 guys there, right? And then you'd load. On the command load, you, number 2, would stuff the belt in there, and I'd catch it at the other side and pull. But by then, I'd have the crank at the back. So pull that through, let go, back again, and let go. Now the gun is loaded. You had to do it twice because the first one only pulled the round out of the belt.
Yeah.
Sorry, didn't pull the round out of the belt because the belt was just in there and the extractor was resting up against it.
This is what you were talking about earlier.
Yeah, so this,
the 2 rounds.
you're pulling back, now the extractors have dropped, belt is in, when you let it go, the extractors go forward, rise up and grip the round in the belt. Next time you pull it back, that round is pulled out of the belt. The extractors drop down, it's now in line with the barrel, and when you let go, it goes up the barrel and the next one. Okay. And then proper hold, which is the 2 fingers wrapped around the top of the eyeballs there, and lift off the safety catch, press the thumb piece, and you hear the click. Now, just see how the trigger operates. There's the trigger bar. See it moving there?
Yeah.
Now, this part of the trigger, which is operated by the thumb piece, engages in that and pulls it back. Now, let's just approach the lock for a minute. Jesus, I haven't handled one of these for so long. You can see the way this operates. The lock is now cocked. You know it's cocked because that's up, and that's the thumper. There's the trigger, down there, okay? So you can see the way the extractors move up and down. Now the top round will be engaged there, and that'll be in line with the breech as it goes forward. So it's in the breech, so it can move up when these move up, which they will be as that closes down. They're lifted up by the extractor levers, these 2 guys there. And the next round is engaged. Shame to cut it off like that. Anyway, now did you hear the click? Yeah. Jeez, this is lovely. Now there's the trigger. Defeated by that. Yeah, it's quite stiff. I used to be able to, once upon a time. But if you press that back, the thing should fire